What's up, guys? Your boy, 22K13. Gonna give you guys 4 up and 4 down from last night WWE SmackDown, July 30th. This comes from WhatCulture.com. SmackDown is starting to discover itself as a show that features really good wrestling matches between guys in the upper mid-card working in main event nearly every week. They also found a way to involve WWE Champion Seth Rollins because he's an amazing performer that worked nearly every television taping, with no sign of John Cena, Randy Orton, or Roman Reigns as part of the show. That also meant that a guy like Cesaro goes to step up to the plate in the main event again. It's the second week in a row where he was featured in a match with Rollins as well. They also mixed in Kevin Owens, who is fusing with Cesaro and Dean Ambrose, who have wrestled Rollins so many times that it's easy for them. Another good thing that SmackDown has been doing of late is not overflowing the show with too many matches. Perhaps part of the reason they do that is because the roster isn't as full for SmackDown. It's also because WWE realized that if they give the talent more time, it's going to lead to better matches. 5 matches in a 2-hour show is the right amount, and hopefully that's something keep doing. The down, number 4. No Divas match hurt the Divas Revolution. There was supposed to be a Divas match on the show. It was advertised on Raw as Becky Lynch taking on Nikki Bella in a non-title match. The match was taken off the show because Nikki spent Tuesday with her boyfriend John Cena as he underwent surgery on his broken nose. Since Nikki wasn't there, WWE made the decision to have no Divas match on SmackDown. That felt a mistake because there really wasn't much of a presence for the Divas wrestler other than a brief video package about Becky Lynch. What WWE did do was have Lynch face Brie Bella on main event, but are there really a lot of people that watch that show? No, not really. What WWE should have done is have Lynch in the ring for her match with Nikki, then have Sister Brie walk out to say that Lynch doesn't deserve to face Nikki, and then do the Lynch-Brie match on SmackDown. They could have also done a tag match or something to give the women a role on the show. It felt like a mistake to not have a Divas match. Number 3. The tag team scene is getting confusing again. Remember WrestleMania season when WWE had this bright idea of doing a multi-team tag match for the title as a way to get everybody on the show? Even though that match had its good moments, it would have been better if it was a regular tag match with just 2 teams. It appears like WWE is going back to the way of putting a bunch of teams together in one match. The 8-man tag match on SmackDown saw Los Matadores and Lucha Dragon get the win over the New Day in the Ascension. The finish occurred when Victor tagged himself in and Carlito were able to roll him up for the win. WWE knows that the New Day are already over, so they want to try to make Lucha Dragon and Los Matadores look like a bigger deal. I don't mind it with Lucha Dragon since they are still on the rise, but Los Matadores and the Ascension really don't have much going for them. Tag team title feuds are better when it's just 2 teams. It's a shame that WWE is going back to the let's put a bunch of teams in one match booking again. Number 2. The mystery partner storyline was pretty weak. There was an ongoing story throughout the show that Cesaro had to find a tag partner to face Rollins and Owens, but they weren't sure who it might be. That's the kind of thing that makes a babyface wrestler look like a loser or a jerk. Why would Cesaro have a tough time finding a partner when he's a great wrestler that is loved by the fans? They should have announced it earlier in the show because if Dean Ambrose did a fire-up promo with him, it would have drawn a huge reaction from the crowd. The most cringe-worthy part of it was when Jerry Lawler screamed what like a schoolgirl when Ambrose walked out at the Cesaro partner asked if it was a surprise. It was pretty obvious it was going to be him, and Lawler's reaction make it worse because it's an example of WWE treating the fans like dummies. I get why WWE does the mystery partner angle because it's supposed to keep people tuned in, but it wouldn't be bad to say it was going to be Ambrose because chances are the fans would like that a lot. As for the match, it was great. and will be mentioned in the up section. Number 1. Sheamus won't stop feuding with Randy Orton. Sheamus did a backstage promo about Randy Orton. His promo delivery was fine because he knows what he's doing, but it's what he said that was upsetting. He did a promo about Randy Orton that continues their rivalry that apparently has no end in sight. Remember Battleground a few weeks ago when Orton beat Sheamus clean with the RKO? That probably should have ended this thing. Of course it didn't because Sheamus had done sneak attacks to keep it going. Sheamus talked about wanting to have a WWE without Randy Orton and had a line about how great it would be like Oklahoma without Tulsa, as a way to rip on the city they were in. It was pretty cheesy. Orton wasn't at the show because most weeks he skipped SmackDown just like people watching the show want to skip this feud happening again. I guess we can pencil in Orton versus Sheamus at SummerSlam. The only reason to do it is to give Sheamus the win to have him win the feud. But it will probably lead to more matches because this is a feud that will never end. Up, number 4. Jack Swagger looks strong after a familiar loss to Rusev. Rusev beat Jack Swagger for what feels like the 487th time in the last 2 years. It was about a year ago when they were wrestling nearly every week. Swagger was able to get some wins by disqualification, but that was really it because Rusev beat him so many times. On this week's SmackDown, they had a very competitive match with Swagger getting in quite a bit of offense, which is good to see considering how poorly he is usually booked. After Swagger did a comeback that led to a few near falls, Rusev stopped him with a super kick and then applied the accolade for the submission win. After the match, Rusev tried to attack again, but Swagger applied the Patriot lock and his music played as Rusev retreated. Since they were in Swagger's home state of Oklahoma, the crowd was behind him more than normal. It was smart of WWE to not only put him in a match, but to make him look better than usual. I hope that the post-show fire that Swagger showed is going to lead to some storyline push for him. But I'm worried that it was only done because they felt like giving the match time since they only had 5 matches on SmackDown. In the next few weeks, we will see if it was something significant or nothing at all. Number 3. Another amazing promo from the New Day. If the New Day are in a match on television, they should always do a promo before a match. It shouldn't even be a question because the promo they do are amazing. Prior to the 8-man tag match, the New Day did some over-the-top laughing about the idea of Los Matadores and Lucha Dragon all as the next tag team champion. Then they did the over-the-top introduction for themselves by calling Kofi Kingston the Mega Dad of the Year. Then Xavier Wood talked about Big E's faster meat. Kingston said Big E is a heavy sweater, since he sweat a lot, and Wood said E was the minister of mass. Kingston called Wood the doctor of defenestration, and the crowd hated it all, but they were also highly entertained by it as well. It was the kind of over-the-top heel work that is so entertaining, and the kind of thing that makes you want to keep watching to see what they might say or do next. How are they not the tag team champions right now? They're too good and make everybody around them better. Number 2. Rollins versus Cesaro for 2nd week in a row. You know how sometimes WWE repeats matches 2 weeks in a row, and then people complain about how it's not fresh. I'm definitely guilty of that sometimes. Well, that's not going to happen this time. SmackDown opened with a Rollins promo that was interrupted by Cesaro, who said that they had a match later. It ended up taking place in the first half of the show. The match that main event SmackDown was better and longer last week. What they did in the 8 minutes they were given here was still really good because Cesaro got a lot of offense in. Anytime a guy on the rise like Cesaro can have a match with the WWE Champion and look credible, it's a good thing. The match ended with Kevin Owens went in the ring to attack Cesaro, so technically Cesaro won the match by disqualification. It would be cool if WWE did Cesaro vs. Rollins in a 20-minute match on Raw. They have amazing chemistry as guys who came up in the business together and Ring of Honor. so putting them in matches together will only lead to more good things for both of them. Number 1. Cesaro pinning Kevin Owens in main event tag match. The main event tag match starts with Cesaro teaming with Dean Ambrose against Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. There are 4 performers who are the right mix of popular faces, true heels, and performers that are very used to working together. It was one of those matches that was full of action. There was a hot tag sequence after Ambrose was getting work over and Cesaro came in with a lot of fire. He was so impressive as he went after both Owens and Rollins with his innovative offense that is unlike anybody else in WWE. It's actually a good thing that they didn't get 15 to 20 minutes because they packed so much action in the 10 minutes or so they were given to have the match. They really did a fantastic job of getting the crowd involved as well. The finishing sequence was incredible with Ambrose giving Rollins a clothesline to knock Rollins outside the ring. The Owens nailed Ambrose with a super kick. Owens wanted a pop-up powerbomb, but Ambrose leaped over him and then Cesaro came in for the perfectly timed cradle on Owens for the win. I also liked that it was Cesaro pinning Owens, since Rollins tapped out clean to John Cena on Raw. It would have been bad to see Rollins lose clean again. Owens losing isn't great, but that kind of finish is better than a disqualification like we normally see. Plus, it was only a roll-up rather than a finishing move. It was smart to do it that way. SmackDown isn't always the most exciting show, but that main event was very good and definitely worth checking out. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.